everybody, David Ursino talking about Vaughan Real Estate as always, although today I've got a special guest with me here. I'm here with Angel of Raising Energy, and she's got some very interesting things to say. We're going to talk about clearing homes of spirits and energy, and she'll add on a whole bunch of stuff. So Angel, welcome.
Hi. Thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
I'm glad to have you, actually. So I guess, first of all, let me ask you, what's your title? What do you do? What kind of work do you do? Basically?
Well, some people will call me an energy worker because I work with healing and I work with energy, bringing whatever's intangible, what's around us, to the physical plane. Others would call me an intuitive because I do, I guess, psychic readings, and I'm an animal communicator, so I speak with animals. I do house clearings, I work with feng shui. Anything that is energetic or that you can't see or perceive with the naked eye is what I like to work with.
Got it.
Yeah.
Give me sort of the best case scenario and the worst case scenario, perhaps, of if there was a spirit, a haunting, I don't know what to call it.
The worst case scenario with clearing energies is when you've had, I guess, bad things happen, like murders or suicides, or someone has died in the home, that kind of thing. Those are also residual energies that are left there. It becomes, it can become problematic if a spirit gets trapped there. So energy is the stuff we leave in the home, or the stuff we create ourselves. Spirits is who we are and what we leave behind, right? Or what comes from our bodies. So a spirit can be trapped, whether it's murder, suicide, accident, tragedy, anything like that, or they just can't let go. There's unfinished business. That's mostly what happens, is the unfinished business. And these can be family members, they can be friends who've passed over, they can be anything like that. So a lot of families, a lot of people will call us in because a spirit is becoming disruptive. Now, I have to say too that a lot of times when we go into a home, people perceive it as a haunting or a spirit. A lot of times that's not the case. I'd say probably 8 out of 10 times that's not the case. But you do get that 2% where it might be. And when it is active, when you do get activity like that, you want to send them home. And that's where we come in, because we know how to cross them over. They're stuck on this plane. They need to be crossed over to wherever their next journey is, right? Whether it's heaven or Valhalla or wherever you want to call it. For animals, Summerland. And that's true too. Like, you get spirit animals. A lot of people will see animals around their house, either of previous owners or what have you. So yeah, the best case scenario is you go in, there's residual energy, yeah, you clear it. The next best case scenario, or coming into the worst case scenario, would be you have a spirit of a family member who's trapped and you want to cross them over. A really hard case is someone who doesn't want to go. Someone who doesn't want to go might be afraid. They might be afraid of what's coming because of something they've done in the past. It can be, someone who doesn't realize they've crossed over or what have you. And the worst case scenario is when you have a group of people. Like, you have to call in more than just yourself. Usually a lot of people who clear homes don't do it by themselves. They will bring someone else with them to help or assist, and that's usually the way we like to do it. But in a worst case scenario, like, you have someone, and this is on the far end, like really far end, someone who has worked with a Ouija board who doesn't know how to work with it. And they've left it open, because it is a gate, and they've left it open, and things have been, kind of multiplying and multiplying over the years, and all of a sudden everybody in the house is angry with each other and they don't understand why. People are sick to their stomachs in certain rooms, and these are symptoms too of when you have bad energy in the home. Is all of a sudden there's one particular room nobody wants to go in. The animals are very afraid of it, or the animals are staring at the wall, and there's that's a good sign that someone might be there. The cat is constantly going. They're looking at something, but there's something that's not there. There's a spirit there. There's a really sick feeling. There's a lot of anger, a lot of doubt, a lot of fear. That's when you got to start going, okay, is it the house? Like, there could be something in your own situation in your life that's causing that too, and you have to eliminate those before you go, yeah, it's a haunting. And that's what we specialize in. Is anyone taking medication in the home that causes hallucinations? Is there anything happening in your life that's stressing you out, right? Is there anything like that? Once we've cleared all that stuff, then we go, okay, what's going on with the house?
Does this typically happen in older homes or newer homes, or it's a mix?
That's a really good question. Yeah, older homes for sure, like anything over 100 years. Old farmhouses are bound to have something going on, simply because a lot of them have built over burial grounds, or there was a farmhouse there that got taken down. Most people in older homes also died in their homes, right? So you have the old grandmother, the old and family members. So a lot of times it's family members and things like that. But yeah, older homes, the older it is, the better the chances, and also the area. is very important. The area, not just the house. The area is important because the area, if it's an old settlement, then you might have something going on there. If it was a reserve, if there is, if there's a cemetery close by to the house. In feng shui, they talk about the idea that you shouldn't, or it's not best to buy a home that is maybe 2 miles offset to a cemetery. You should get about two miles. I say 2 kilometers, saying 2 miles is because of the kind of energy, because they will be, some spirits can be attracted to your home because they're looking, they're wandering, right? Especially if you have an intuitive who lives there, then all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, look, there's an open, there's a beacon, let's go there, let's have some fun. Kids are very open to this kind of stuff too, so spirits can be attracted to that kind of thing because children are excessively open. If you see a child talking to the wall, sometimes it's their imagination, sometimes it's not. It could be grandma or grandpa. Pay attention, from 0 to 7, they're very open, so that's another clue as to what could be going on. So the area and the location is very important as well.
So we actually had a back in around 2005 or so, talking about location of homes. We had in Vaughan, in the Jane and Teston area, they were widening a road, Teston Road, and they came across a native burial ground, and they disturbed part of it, obviously in the digging. Then they eventually adjusted the road so that it wouldn't go over the native burial ground.
Which is very
exactly, but that little bit that they did disturb, there have been rumors, there have been people on the internet saying that they felt some strange things happening in their home.
In the case of burial grounds and things like that, unless they have been put to rest properly, activity can happen because there are a lot of people who are not respectful. They will dig up burial grounds and not have them blessed or have them done. Like a lot of times, for me anyway, if it's a cultural burial ground like Jewish or Native American or what have you, I would bring someone in. That would be my choice. I've never had to deal with it, but I would bring someone in of that culture to do the appropriate blessing for those people to be able to move on. Because that is going to happen. Progress does happen, unfortunate but true. And the thing is if it was dug up accidentally, then you know what, you can do that. If you have a home where you feel that something like that is going on, one of the things people can do for themselves is they can sit there and they can say, you know what, if there is a spirit here who's been disturbed, or they know what the background story is, obviously like the one in Vaughan, they can sit there and go, we're sorry, we didn't know, it was an accident, and I know that others may not have respected it, but I respect you and I honor you. And I thank you for being here and letting me know that you're here, but now it's time to go. I release you. There are blessings here. And maybe put on some, especially for Native American, you can put out some tobacco. Tobacco is a sacred plant that they use for a lot of different ceremonies.
Got it. Interesting. Very good. So let's say someone does find strange happenings in their house, or they've got a strange vibe in their house that they don't like, and they decide to get the house cleared. What does that involve? What do you do? How does that work?
When someone comes in to clear your home, there are several ways they can do it. The most common way, and the way that I usually work, is with sage and my abalone shell. If I go to do a clearing myself, I will use buffalo sage or sacred sage, which is Native American. This is not edible sage, this is different. And what we do is we light it, and anyone can actually do this with the sage alone. I recommend that if you're going to clear your home, or if we're going to clear your home, I would go in myself to hire someone probably every couple of years to do it, to do a really good smudge. But if you're going to do it on your own, to get a smudge bowl like this is called an abalone shell, and it represents the 4 elements. You have earth, which is the shell itself. You have earth, which is the sage. Water, which is the shell. Air, which is the holes that are here. Yes, and fire, obviously. And what you do is you take it to the front of your home, okay, and you, with thanks, say you want to get rid of all the negativity. You light it, and then you blow it out, and you let it smolder. And then while it's smoldering, you go clockwise around your home and try not to cross back over yourself. Keep going forward, because the intent is to brush it or broom it in front of you until you get back to your front door. Okay. Open the door, let yourself out, close the door behind you. It's done. Take the remnants that you have, because all the negativity is in there now, and throw it off your property. Okay? Now, if I were to come and do this, I would use the sage, but I would also use other herbs. One of them possibly being lilac for protection. I would maybe use juniper. I would use just different things. It also depends on the house. My mix is going to be specific for the home that I am going to. So whatever I use that day, my guides, my guardians, those who work with me in spirit, they're going to show me. They're going to say, okay, this is the house, this is who's there, this is what you need to do. And I trust them implicitly, so whatever they tell me is usually correct, which is great. Another way to clear a home is with a pendulum. And when you use a pendulum, you can go around the home and the pendulum will spin if there is excessive energy, or depending on how the pendulum works. And you can clear it with your pendulum. I also do distance clearings, which is something we haven't gotten into yet, but if someone is in England or someone is in Vaughan and I'm here in Innisfil, then they can call me and say, can you clear my home? And they give me certain details, and with my pendulum I can actually attempt to clear their home. Sorry?
I said, oh wow.
Yeah.
So you stay here and there.
Yeah, yeah. Healings can be
remote
done that
healing.
way. Yeah, that's
okay.
exactly what it is.
Right,
It's
okay.
remote healing or remote clearing.
Right.
I've actually worked in England, like I said, Malta, Italy. I've done places like that as well. Yeah, so you can do it that way. And then you have feng shui ways of working. So you have the bell. Sounds. This is really easy for people. They can go to the dollar store and they can get bells, and again, starting from the door, going clockwise, you shake your bells and ring your bells, because what that does is it breaks up the stagnant energy. This is for residual energies only, really, okay, not for crossing over. For crossing over, usually you want to bring someone in. Get rid of residual energies that way, go to the door, open it, and let it out. Usually when you come back in your home, you can still feel the buzz of the bells. It's quite beautiful. It's quite amazing. If you do pray, if you have invocations, you can pray, you can do those kinds of things while you're ringing your bells, while you're smudging your home, anything like that.
We're sitting in front of this altar, and I wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah,
Tell me about it.
This is probably my favorite thing to work with. This is, for me, an ancestor altar. It's part of where I work. Here is where I honor the ancestors, my ancestors, the ancestors of those who I'm working with, the gods and goddesses that I work with, the spirits and guides and guardians who help me. And what I will do is I'll come here and I will light these, and I will make offerings of candles or herbs to say thank you. So in this particular case here, I have a pomegranate, which is one of the symbols of one of the goddesses I work with. And she helps me a great deal with my family and with my work. So what I do is I set a special place for her on my altar. This is Anubis. Anubis is the god of dogs, and he works with me quite a bit with strays and rescues and doing healing work. He's a very finicky god to work with, but I love him. So I honor him by getting this statue. The skulls are very sacred because they are, in South America, the gateway to both worlds, right? They represent the here and the there. And each of these has their place on my altar for specific reasons. So everything here means something. Everything symbolizes something for me, and for the work that I do. My cauldron, again, is connected to this particular goddess. I collect cauldrons. This is Thoth. He is also an Egyptian god, and this particular god works with writers, and he works with the Book of the Dead. So whatever you do in life, he is the one who writes it down, you know, and he's the one who keeps all these things. So this is what the altar is about. It's a place that is sacred for me to go to get answers, to connect with my deities, to connect with my ancestors, and it's just a really great place to feel comfortable and to feel home.
I noticed there's also
the altar cloth.
The altar cloth.
Yeah, the altar cloth itself. See, a lot of people will hesitate when they see that because they see the pentacle. And the truth of the matter is that the pentacle is about nature. It's a 5-pointed star, and it represents earth, air, water, fire, and spirit. And we're in the center. We are made up of all those different things, and the circle around it is the earth and the universe, and nothing is beginning, nothing is ending. So that's very important to see too, because when people come here, they're just like, oh, there's a pentacle. It's like, well, yeah, but you have to know what the truth of it is. So I like to let people know that these are very, very important, but wonderful symbols, and they've, you know, over time and with certain things, they can become corrupt, and they're actually quite lovely. And the reason it's purple and black is because purple is representative of psychic ability, intuition, energy, and the black is all colors.
Okay, very good. So fantastic. Thanks for your time.
No problem.
If someone wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way to reach you?
You can either email me at raisingenergy@yahoo.ca, or you can call me. My number is 705-220-2151.
Perfect.
So those are the two probably.
And you have a website as well.
And I have a website, that's right, thanks for reminding me. It's www.raisingenergy.com, and you can find out about everything that we do there and classes that we offer, because we do offer classes in how to clear your home, in intuitive abilities, all kinds of different things.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're done.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks, David.
Thank you.